I always used to say to my brother, every time I saw him on this drug, why the hell do you take this drug every single day? I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And he used to say to me, it's an escape from reality. Outside looking in, the perception was he had all this money, he was a good-looking lad, all the girls loved him, everybody wanted to be friends with him, he had me, he had all this family. Why the hell do you want to escape this reality? But sadly, that's mental health, and mental health doesn't discriminate. So it gone to one particular day. It was October 2015. It was Monday the 26th. Prior to this, my dad said, right lads, I'm off to America for a couple of weeks. You'll be fine, do what you normally do, enjoy yourself. Sadly, this time was a little bit different. My dad had gone on holiday in the morning. I'd gone to work. My brother had gone to work. I texted my brother on my lunch saying, I'm going to go to Aldi. Anything you want for tea, mate? We'll stick a film on, we'll get back from work, we can chill out. I remember the text. He didn't come back to me. I rang him. He didn't answer. I rang him again. No answer. It got to 7:30 in the evening, and I was watching TV with my best friend, Brad, and I saw my brother's car come onto the drive. He had a black BMW at the time. So I jumped straight up off the sofa and I ran to the front door to confront him, to see why he'd been ignoring me all day. I was worried sick. He came straight through the front door, and I could tell straight away that it was on this drug, ketamine. He was looking straight through me. It was like a zombie. Not only has he ignored me all day, he's on this drug and he's driven on this drug. But the last 4 years of me constantly having to deal with him and this addiction, it all just came out of me. I said some awful things to him, things even to this day I still regret and I wish I never said. We've had this massive argument. He's gone off, I've gone off. 10, 15 minutes later, I get this awful feeling in my stomach. I've gone around the house to find where he is. I checked every single room. I went upstairs and I got to the gym. The boxing bag was laid flat on the floor and the rope had gone missing. I ran downstairs screaming. I went outside and found that he'd hung himself from the balcony. He'd taken his own life. I'm not going to lie to you. There is not a day that goes by that I don't think about that moment. It was awful. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't have nightmares every day, if I didn't have flashbacks. But one thing that I will say to you is, if that would have not happened to me almost 10 years ago, I would not be stood here right now talking to you lovely people. And that is how you should see life. Life isn't easy and life isn't fair. But once you see life happening for you instead of to you, your life will change in an amazing way. Life is not about how hard you can hit. It's about how much trauma, adversity you can go through and keep moving forward. If you never quit, then you never lose. Never, ever give up. So after my brother passed away, with everything that I saw most of all how upset my mum was. As you can imagine, for a mother to lose her son in that way, she was absolutely heartbroken. She was devastated. And I said to myself, it doesn't matter what I've seen. It doesn't matter what I've been through. I have to be the man, and I have to be there for my mum and for my family. And I put it all to the back of my head. I forgot about it, and I made myself as busy as I possibly could. It was the worst thing I could have done. The worst thing. 2 years later, coming up to my 21st birthday, coming up to the second anniversary of my brother's passing, it all just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was depressed, I was suicidal, I didn't want to be here anymore. There was one evening in particular, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking home from the pub. I'd got absolutely smashed, probably to try and drink the pain away. I walked home, back to my dad's, about a mile. The whole way home, I was just thinking, if I take my own life tonight, will this pain go away? And the only reason that I didn't was that I had a voice in my head that said, don't you dare. If you take your own life tonight, then your family will have to go through everything again like they did with Liam. And there's a saying, when you take your own life, the pain doesn't go away, it just gets passed on to your loved ones. I got home that evening, I got in bed, I didn't sleep a wink. Eventually I sobered up and all these thoughts came flooding into my head. I'm in a bad way and I really need to do something about this. Luckily for me, I still had my dad. He was constantly asking me, what's wrong? Are you okay? You don't seem yourself. And as often people do with depression, I kept saying, I'm fine, Dad, leave me alone, I'll be okay. Until one day, we were at this business event for the furniture business, and all these buyers from schools were there. So we were building this event up to be absolutely huge, new relationships, potential revenue for the company. And it just went terribly. Could not have gone any worse. And my dad could see how upset I was. And my dad, quite an old-fashioned guy, very polite, very prim, never proper. And he literally grabbed me. I was in a full suit like this, and he grabbed me and he pulled me out of the way. And he shook me and he went, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I just burst out crying. In front of all these people, I just said, Dad, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I feel like this, and I just can't put my finger on it. He went, right, get in the car, we're going home. We're going to go have a chat. So we went home, and he took me up to Liam's memorial bench that he'd built for him. And we just sat there for hours. And I just cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And I just got everything off my chest. Not straight away. Eventually, I got better. Eventually, I got back to being Tom. And there's two things I honestly believe that saved my life. It's perfectly okay to admit that you're not okay. And it's okay to talk. At 19 years old, I've lost my best friend, my brother, to suicide. At 21 years old, I'm suicidal, I'm depressed, and I don't want to be here anymore. I'm now 28 years old. I can hand on heart say that I am feeling the best I've ever felt, and I'm doing the best I've ever done. So if I can go from down there to back up here, then anybody can do it. I promise you, if you ever feel like giving up, don't. Because life is always worth living. And there is always, always a light at the end of the tunnel.